I'm going to be sharing a quote by Buddha that says, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. And we're going to be talking about how you might be poisoning yourself without knowing. Hi, my name is Eva. I'm an intuitive healer. I work with two modalities, one which is based on working with the Akashic records, which is all about helping you connect to your true identity, your soul identity, identify your hidden gifts, your talents, your unique coding that you were supposed to leverage to create your current human experience right now, help you connect with certain aspects of yourself that you don't even know that you have within you. If you're struggling with even repeating patterns, negative stuff keeps happening to you, the soul element reading can be a game changer for you. And I'm going to be sharing more on that at the end of this video. So make sure you tune in until the end. I also work with quantum flow. So quantum flow is a beautiful, beautiful modality. It's actually a technology that works with your body, rewiring your nervous system through techniques such as breath work, such as sound, such as movement to help you break down all those stuck trauma, because a lot of people don't know that every trauma that they've experienced all the way from childhood is usually recorded within your body, within your nervous system, within your unconscious mind, and this literally affects how you operate in life. A lot of the things that you attract probably are actually connected to unconscious patterns that you don't even know is running behind the scene and creating all this dysfunction in your life. So again, I'm going to be sharing more on how these two beautiful modalities can be a game changer for your healing journey. So I'll start my live by sharing my lesson for the week. And the reason I do this is because my biggest value in life is growth, transformation, evolution. And I want you who's watching this to also set this as a target for yourself. Aim to be a little bit better than you were yesterday. Okay, so you can learn something new, you can shift your perspective, your wisdom. I don't care. I do my channel in the structure, most of my videos to just share the insights that I gather on a day-to-day basis through my life experiences, through my aha moments, and I get so many of them. I do my best to just share with anyone who's watching on this channel. So this last week, I've been working on doing my best to be present in the present moment. And I know if you've been in the spiritual community, in the personal development community, I'm sure you've had the term, the now moment is the only one you have, right? This is what counts. This is what creates your future. It's not the past, it's who you are now and who you're choosing to be now. And I've been doing my best to build that muscle. And trust me, it ain't easy to live in the present moment. Why? Because most of the time, either you're thinking about a past event and maybe regretting something that happened in the past, maybe reliving a good moment, no problem. But most of the time, the negative stuff is usually us feeling shame and regret and guilt for something that happened that we wish we could have done differently. Maybe we wish we could have reacted differently, or that situation will not have turned out the way it turned out. So most of us are usually there. Or if it's not that, we're worrying about something that hasn't happened yet. We're structuring tomorrow. What am I going to be doing next week? What am I going to be doing in the next month? I mean, we are coming to the end of the year right now. So I'm sure most of you are wondering, like, holy crap. For me, I cannot believe that we're already at the end of this year. It feels like it was just yesterday that we were celebrating Christmas and New Year's, and we are in December again. And of course, we always set the New Year resolutions, the goals, and as I talked about this extensively in my first video, my last video and my first video for this year, my last video for last year, and then my first video for this year. I talked about it extensively, and I'm going to be sharing that at the end of this month just to help you really restructure and set yourself up for, a year for growth, for evolution, for transformation for yourself. So back to my lesson for the week, being in the present moment and not worrying so much about something that hasn't happened. That I would say is um because we're always planning about the future. I'm going to wake up tomorrow at this time and I'm going to handle this and this and this and this. And sometimes it can feel so overwhelming that it even leads to self-sabotaging patterns when you feel like you have so much to do. You don't even know where to start, right? So sometimes it can be such a daunting task to the point you're like, I'm just going to avoid, I'm going to distract myself and take as much time away from that because in my mind, I've already created this scenario that it's too much work. How will I ever finish? And that's literally you being stuck in the future, a future that has not happened. So my lesson for the week was just learning to be in the present moment. And how was I doing this? That any time that I found myself now worrying about a task that I need to perform, maybe 2 days from now or a week from now, whatever, I'll say, to myself that, you know what, I'm going to worry about it when I'm actually there, when I'm actually in that moment and doing it. Because most of the time, you're going to create this fear scenario, this worry scenario in your mind. And then when you get to the actual reality, it does not happen. So you wonder, what on earth have you been stressed about for the past 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year? I don't care. It rarely, rarely even comes into being. And this is a beautiful, beautiful muscle you can start building for yourself. Anytime you find yourself trying to worry about something that hasn't happened, come back to the present moment and just trust that when you're in that moment, you're going to have everything you need to handle that particular thing that you're worried about. And that always happens all the time for me. I can spend months stressing about something, right? We still building the muscle, right? And then when I get to that moment, everything I was worried about, it didn't even happen. And even if it happened, I actually have the know-how of how to navigate that. So you wonder why on earth I was stressing myself. So it could be a beautiful muscle for you to build just to come back to the present moment. How do you come back to the present moment? Through breath work. Just taking a couple of deep breaths, right? One of the most beautiful game changers for me this week was just breathing 5 minutes and just being in the now and focusing, keeping my mind on the now. Because, of course, when you start doing that, your ego mind will always start creating all these scenarios, trying to distract you from that because it's a new practice. But keep at it. Remember, it's a muscle you're building. You don't build a muscle in 1 day. You just don't go to the gym in 1 day and then expect to be, well built. It's something you have to constantly work on. So that was my lesson for the week. And I'm still continuing with this to learn how to be present in every moment, in the now moment, because it's the now moment that is creating my future. And also with regards to the past, because maybe you might also be worrying about something you did in the past. So a beautiful technique that I've been using is actually a beautiful meditation that I discovered from Brendan Burchard, like a friend of mine recommended it to me. And it's called the release. Okay. So it's just you sitting in silence. You can do the breath work again. And then when you're doing the breath work, you just say release. Whatever it is, whatever shame, whatever guilt, whatever memory that has triggered you, just say release with the exhalation. Just that, very simple. You can do that for 5 minutes, however long it takes you for you not to be stuck in the past and be in the present moment. Do that practice for that long. So those are my tidbits for this week, and I'd love to hear from you. How have you grown? How have you evolved? How have you transformed your life in the last week, in the last day, even today? Regardless of when you're watching this video, how have you changed or how have you grown? Please share in the comments and let's learn from each other because I always know that everyone's perspective, everyone's unique perspective can help impact someone else. So you never know what you share can actually do to someone else. You'll never know until you actually share it, right? So don't get stuck in your head thinking like, oh, no one is going to care. You don't know what you don't know. So do share, and maybe someone somewhere, including myself, might learn a lot from what you share. Okay, so today we're talking about the poison that you might be drinking and you do not know. And this is actually inspired by a beautiful phrase. What do you call it? I don't know what to call it, but basically, I'm still reading Conversations with God. I'm actually almost done. The book has been mind blowing for me because it contains such beautiful spiritual wisdom and awakening and aha moments that are helping me shift my perspective on a couple of things that I wasn't getting before. But that one is what I want to talk about. I'm not going to read a small part of it. So, first of all, it's starting with the negative emotion. So, the first emotion was worry. So, worry is just about the worst form of mental activity. I'm actually reading from, my phone. Worry is just about the worst form of mental activity there is, next to hate, which is deeply self destructive. Worry is pointless. It is wasted mental energy. Remember, I was just talking about that right now. It also creates biochemical reactions which harm the body, producing everything from indigestion to coronary arrest and a multitude of things in between. Health will improve almost at once when worrying ends. So remember, I was just talking about that, worrying about a future that hasn't happened, doing the techniques that will bring you back to the present moment. Worrying, the book says, worry is the activity of a mind which does not understand its connection with me. So with me, it's referring connection to God, to source, to universe, whatever you resonate with, to your higher self, to your angels. Worry is the activity of a mind which does not understand its connection to me, because you're always going to be taken care of. You'll always have everything you need in any moment. The problem happens when we have certain expectations that, oh, I want $1 million. And if it doesn't happen, you're starting to create a suffering because that expectation has not been met. But if you actually sit that down with yourself in this current moment, you'd realize that you have everything that you need in this moment, not in the next minute or in the next hour or in the next day. I don't care. In this moment, you probably have everything you need. And if you can keep reminding yourself that instead of worrying about a future that has not happened, beautiful, beautiful practice and muscle for you to build. It goes on now to say about hatred. Hatred is the most severely damaging mental condition. It poisons the body and it affects, and and its effects are virtually irreversible. So remember, I was talking about anger, a quote from Buddha that says, anger is like holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. So anger and hatred kind of go together because you can't hate someone that you're not angry at, right? This one really hit hard because I realized we live in a world that is geared for hate. I mean, and I've started noticing even this pattern in the, what is it called? Even in the TV shows we watch, in the movies we watch, and all of that. Remember, I'm a big movie fan, TV show. I love watching TV shows and all of that. But I'm trying to get myself away from that. I've actually improved on that this year. But I've realized there are a lot of patterns where, and we tend to glorify the hero who probably something bad happened to them, like really, really bad. Maybe their family got taken away and all of that. And this person goes on a whole revenge mission because of their anger, ending up doing horrible things to the enemies, to the people who actually hurt them. And this is literally how our society is structured. I mean, even when you go to I want to say the telenovelas, where there's always that person who's been punished. And then once they become this superstar, now they start taking revenge on those people that had hurt them in the past. We're geared to hate the people who hurt us, which is, I don't want to say it's normal, but we've normalized that. Someone hurts you, we hurt back, right? Someone betrays you, we hate back. That's what we've been trained to do. But is there another way? Remember, the book is saying its effects are virtually irreversible. You're poisoning yourself when you're choosing to hate. And the thing that came up for me is that, the old adage, when you're pointing your finger to someone, you're pointing three back at you, or four, depending on what you believe in. So one finger to one person, you did this to me, and three fingers at you. It's always about you. Nothing ever happens to you. Everything happens for you in life. So if someone is doing a hateful thing, yes, on the physical reality, it's the most hurtful thing that you've ever experienced. On the spiritual realm, higher realm, you're probably creating these patterns because you and this person had an agreement that you were supposed to betray me at this moment in time to help me realize my power, to help me learn the gift of compassion, to learn the value of maybe forgiveness and all of that. Maybe a lesson that my soul has been really struggling to embody. So I need you to hurt me in this way so that I can learn how to forgive. Remember, you can't have forgiveness if, and okay, so sorry about that. It just kind of disappeared. But anyways, everything is always happening for you. That's what I want you to remember. Everything is always happening for you. The people who are hurting you, yes, in the physical realm, it seems like it's the worst thing ever. In the spiritual realm, probably you and that person have an agreement that that person was meant to hurt you to get you to learn a certain lesson. The thing is, most people don't learn the lesson. So they keep attracting these patterns over and over and over and over again and thinking that God or the universe or the world is against them. And that's not the case. You're the one who's choosing not to learn the lesson, to grow from whatever it is that is happening to you. You're choosing to get stuck in those patterns of anger, of hatred, of fear, of worry, and all of that. And the minute you get stuck into that world of negative emotion, they suck everything from all aspects of your life. You get stuck in those patterns, that's all you'll be attracting for yourself. Remember, everything you put out, you always get back. So you're hating someone, you're going to be receiving the hate right back at you. You're intentioning bad to someone else, you're also going to be receiving that same intention back. And I've spoken about this in a couple of videos. with my soul element reading, right, there are things we call negative intentions. So negative intentions is someone betrayed you, probably in a past life, even in this lifetime, because it can also happen right now. And you feel so hurt that you intention bad on them, that I wish maybe you get to experience what I felt with this betrayal. I've seen this pattern in the soul element reading. Probably someone created it in the past life. Maybe their spouse betrayed them. Maybe their friend betrayed them. Maybe their parents betrayed them. Or you betrayed your parents in the past life. And they intention that too. Do you know in this lifetime, when I'm sharing this reading with these findings with my client, it's always that person that they intention someone else with, they're receiving it right back in this lifetime, meaning that the circumstances that have been of happening in their life currently relate to whatever the intention to someone else. So remember, everything you put out always comes back to you. Remember time, because most people always talk about karma like, you're gonna pay for all your sins in this lifetime, and they're always expecting, if I stole something, something is gonna be stolen from me. That's the misconception that happens with karma. But actually, it's the energy, the underlying intention that created that action that that person is gonna face. And it doesn't matter if it's going to happen in this lifetime or in another lifetime, and whatever it is, eventually it's always going to come back to you. You're going to have to experience the other aspect of whatever you're intentioning to someone else, not as a form of punishment, but as a way for you to understand the negative repercussions for you intentioning bad on someone else. So whenever you're hating on someone, you're hating yourself. You're poisoning yourself. You're thinking you're punishing that person when you're doing maybe nasty things and taking your revenge out on this person, but you're doing that to yourself. And when you get stuck in those patterns, actually, if you go and do your research on this, or some scientists have done research on this, that when you're stuck in those patterns, guess what? Even your health gets affected. So you're literally poisoning your health. Your endocrine system gets affected, your nervous system gets affected, your brain chemistry gets affected because you're constantly releasing those stress hormones, which eventually lead to inflammation. And the negative repercussions of having inflammation within your body causes a ton of diseases. Is that really what you want for yourself? That's the question I want you to ask. So my reflection for you, or the question I love for you to reflect is me holding on to this anger really worth me sacrificing myself, my mental, my physical, my emotional well being, just for the sake of hating this person? Because if that makes sense to you, you'd rather be sick just to keep on hating this person, then by all means, go and do it. But for most people who wants to be sick, everyone wants to be well, everyone wants to live a happy, healthy life, right? If you don't want that for yourself, then you gotta let go of the hatred. Gotta let go of the anger. Gotta let go of the worry, the fear, all those negative emotions. They're not serving you, they're just poisoning you. And again, remember that it's a muscle that you're building. So for most people, they try and then they're like, this is too hard. I'm not going to do it again. It's something you have to constantly practice. It took me a while for me to figure out the forgiveness aspect of myself. Because remember, for a very long time, holding on to grudges was my thing. When someone hurt me, the grudge, the revenge, I never talked to them, and all of that. Those patterns were what kept on repeating for me. And I was stuck in the hatred for everything, for everyone who'd ever betrayed me. And that was also affecting different aspects of my life, from my career, from my health, to my relationships, and all of that. I will see those patterns repeat. I didn't know that. Do you know when everything started shifting? It's when I started working on myself. And the beautiful meditation, and I've shared this before, that I used to do was the 6 phase meditation by Six Vishen Lakiani, with the aspect of forgiveness. I didn't know what forgiveness was and what it will do for me. Because forgiveness for me meant that I'm letting that other person, escape with whatever they did to me. And to me, that was unimaginable, right? I could not fathom that. Like, no, I had to hold on to the hatred. But when I started sending love and light to these people who had hurt me, right, my life started shifting. Because remember that your external reality is always a reflection of who you are on the inside. So now suddenly, those the dysfunction that I had manifested in different areas of my life, it started shifting for the positive. because I was shifting and choosing to love rather than hate. My health improved, my relationships improved, my career, the people I surrounded myself improved significantly after so many years of being stuck in those patterns of hatred and anger and all of that. And this can also happen to you if you choose to do something about it at this moment. So don't worry about, oh, you've been holding on to this anger for the last decade or so. I don't care. You can change all that right now. The advice I always give people is that start small. This is how I started. I didn't start with forgiving the really big wrongs because we always have a hierarchy of the person who had us most, the person maybe who had us least. I started with the least because that was easy for me. Maybe someone who insulted me over just something small or something, we don't hold on to certain things as much. It was easier to forgive that person than to forgive that person that I had assumed had really betrayed me badly. So the more and more I could forgive the little wrong, the easier it became for me to forgive the hard wrong. And remember that forgiveness, again, is a muscle. It's not going to happen in just one go, right? Even those big betrayals that maybe you faced from someone else, it's not going to happen in one go. It's something that you might even have to take a couple of months, even years, because everyone is different, right? Sometimes you might even wake up and think, okay, today I've forgiven this person. And then tomorrow something triggers you and then you're back in your feelings. It doesn't matter. The goal is you keep practicing and building that muscle until it becomes your nature, until you stop living in hatred, until you stop living in anger, until you stop living in worry. So you constantly work on that. Okay. So I'm just going to end this here and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And I hope that actually helped. Let me know what you think about this and what are you still holding on to? The hatred towards another person. I want you to reflect. Is this worth my physical, mental, emotional health? If it is not, then by all means, it's time to let that person go. Thank them for whatever service, because remember, it is a service that they gave you, even if you can't grasp that at this moment. When you're probably healed and you've forgiven them and you can look back at that, you'll realize that the only way I could get to this level is because that person had me in this way. So that's a service that they did to you, even though you're not able to realize right now. So really reflect on this and let me know your thoughts on this at the end, at the comment section, okay? Sending you love and light. Do subscribe to my channel and also click on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any time I share out my content. And I love to get to know you. So I did promise I was going to share with you the techniques that I currently use or I have used that have been such a game changer with my healing journey, with my growth, with my transformation, with connecting to my true identity, my true self. So the two modalities have been soul realignment and quantum flow. I'm going to share my screen just for a bit to explain to you what soul realignment is. The soul realignment is basically a modality that is based on working with the Akashic record. Sorry about that. Oh, my screen. Okay. So it's based on working with the Akashic records. Soul realignment is a unique modality that helps you identify your true divine nature. Most people have lost touch with who they really are because they're living their lives, their careers, their relationships, and all of based on what society told them this is how I'm supposed to be. They've lost complete touch with who they were meant to be. They don't even know what their gifts are. They don't even know what their true purpose is in life. The true purpose in life is actually to be who you are. If you do not know who you are, how can you be who you are, right? So with soul realignment, it's really helping you realign with how we show up in our human experience based on our original soul blueprint. What do I mean by this? It's that when your soul or whatever, your spirit, whatever you want to attach to that, was initially originated, there are certain qualities that you receive from source. So these qualities basically are how we're supposed to express our creative abilities in our physical reality. So we leverage these qualities to create our human abilities. And this is why I say that each and every one of us is unique. Remember, what I can do, maybe you can't do, and what you can do, I can't do, because you have your own unique coding on how you were supposed to create your human experience. So it's all relevant to actually getting to know your unique coding, your original divine soul blueprint. And then based on that, now we're going to compare to who you currently are. Remember, your soul has existed for such a long time. making different choices, chances are taking you away from who you actually are and creating negative karmic patterns within your blueprint that you keep on attracting the same circumstances over and over again in an attempt to resolve these negative karmic patterns. So it's all relevant. It's actually helping you identify this is who you were supposed to be, this is who you were created to be, this is who you are right now, and helping you release all these things that are no longer you. So it's so relevant you're getting practical, useful information that can have a huge transformational value for you. Remember, a huge part of the healing journey is that you gotta take new action. If you keep doing the same things, entertaining the same people, the same circumstances, entertaining the same old habits that you've always had, you're gonna keep on recreating these patterns over and over again. Once you know who you were supposed to be and what you're currently doing that's helping you or creating these negative karmic patterns for yourself, now you get the power back, free will and choice, right? Taking responsibility for what you create going forward, because now that you now have the power to make different choices and create new results for yourself. You'll also receive a soul level healing through the Akashic record. So we're going to be clearing these negative karmic patterns that you've been incarnating with over and over again. We're going to clear them on an energetic level, okay? Which, of course, eventually in your physical circumstances, meaning that going forward, you no longer have to be an energetic match to those experiences and those patterns that have been plaguing you, especially in this lifetime, okay? So who is soul relevant best for? If you're feeling stuck in repetitive negative patterns, whether in finances, relationship, or health, struggling with self-identity and feeling disconnected from your true purpose, experiencing constant roadblocks and challenges that seem to have no clear cause or solution, difficulty understanding why certain relationships or situations seem to repeat, causing emotional distress, if you're sensing that past traumas or unexplained fears are influencing your present life, lack of clarity about career or life direction, or you're feeling lost or confused about what path to take in life, if you're experiencing low energy or motivation despite efforts to make positive changes, if you're feeling trapped by limiting beliefs and recurring self sabotaging behaviors, there is a reason for that. And also, if you have a deep desire for emotional healing and freedom from the burdens of the past, but not knowing where to start, soul realignment will be a great game changer for you. So the second modality I am currently certified with and that I can offer to you for your growth and healing and transformation is quantum flow. So quantum flow is an embodiment mechanism that offers transformational experiences that rewires your nervous system, restoring you back to your balance in your body, in your mind, in your spiritual, in your energetic well-being and all of that. So remember, I shared that a lot of us have deep-rooted trauma and emotional blockages all the way from childhood, sometimes even from our mother's womb. You know, if your mother was going through certain difficulties during your time in the womb, guess what? That got recorded within your nervous system. Meaning that even how you operate right now, you might not even be aware where these patterns are coming from, but they're still within your unconscious mind, connected to your nervous system. And what they do is that they cause the blockage of flow of energy within you, which impacts your physical, your mental, your emotional, your spiritual well-being. You're unable to tap into your flow if you're experiencing all of this. You're unable to align with your purpose. You're unable to develop any kind of external circumstances that actually impact your well-being in different areas of your life. And with quantum flow, once you break down these blockages, it impacts different areas of your life. The beauty about quantum flow is that it's not just working just with your mind or with your unconscious mind, it's targeting different areas of your life. That means that even your growth, your healing journey is going to be accelerated because you're not just focusing on one aspect, you're focusing on all those aspects that I've mentioned. So who is quantum flow for? Sorry, let me just scroll back. Where am I? Sorry about that. Okay. Quantum flow is for anyone who has constant mental fog or difficulty concentrating, leading to low productivity. If you're struggling with chronic anxiety and stress that feels overwhelming and unmanageable, if you're feeling physically and emotionally drained, unable to relax or achieve inner peace, If you're experiencing chronic pain or physical tension that prevents full body healing and vitality, if you have difficulty controlling emotions leading to mood swings, frustration, or anger, if you're feeling disconnected from a higher purpose or intuition, unsure of your life's direction, if you're struggling with unresolved trauma from childhood that continues to affect your everyday life right now, if you feel repeatedly falling into limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns that block personal growth, if you have inability to manifest desired goals or break free from patterns that keep you stuck, or even if you're yearning for spiritual connection, but you're feeling blocked from accessing deeper states of bliss or soul guidance, Quantum Flow will be a great fit for you. So I'm going to leave this QR code on the screen, inviting you to connect with me. Please go ahead and book a discovery call with me. We can see which one of these modalities will be a great fit for you, or even both of them, right? Because both of them, if you tap into this with my spiritual mastery program that I'm currently running, and I'm currently taking a couple of individuals. I don't want to, sorry, let me just bypass that. I'm currently intaking individuals to coach one-on-one with the spiritual mastery program, which is a combination of the soul realignment and quantum flow, which can be a huge game changer for your year 2025. So if you're ready to make 2025 the year of your greatest transformation, I invite you to book a discovery call with me. I'm also going to be leaving a link to that in the description box of this video. So you can check that out if in case you're not able to scan the QR code. And I hope I will get to see you on the other side. For now, I'm sending you so much love and hoping that you have an amazing week of actually incorporating all the techniques and all the insights that I've shared with you in this current video. So thank you so much for tuning in. Do not forget to subscribe and also click on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on anything that I share out on my channel. Thank you so much and love and blessings.